Hello students, now I'm here and we're going to talk about cumulative frequency graphs, but first let's review box and whisker plots. So box and whisker or box plots show us how far data is spread out. So we also use this word dispersion. And the way we make a box and whisker plot is the whiskers are formed by my minimum value and my maximum value. So this is my min, this is my max. And then we use the middle value is the middle line in the box. The middle value, of course, we also call the median. And then quartile 1 and quartile 3, well, this is where 25% of the data lies and where 75% of the data lies. So it's the first quarter mark and the third quarter mark. We can see all those also in our calculator. We see the min, we see the max, we see the median, we also see all the quartiles. So I think the last statistic that we did was those two separate lists of numbers. Yeah, so I'm just going to do one variable stats. If I want to know all those values, I can only get them with one variable stats. So I'm just going to use one list here, and we don't have frequency. Okay, so here's my min, 196. My quartile 1, 198. Median is 200. Quartile 3 was 201. And then my max for that first set of data from the last set of notes was 205. So here's my 5-number summary that I get from my calculator. When we draw it, there's no y-axis, but there is an x-axis. And we always want to make sure that it's symmetric. Symmetric's not the right word, scaled correctly. So you don't want to make all of these sections even unless they are the same distance apart. So here we have a distance of 2, a distance of 2, a distance of 1, a distance of 4. So if I was going to draw this one, I would want to make sure that I would have the space between these two lines have a distance of 2, 2, a distance of 1, so it would be a lot shorter, and then a distance of 4 would be longer than all the others. So again, we're starting from the lowest value going to quartile 1. That means this is my lowest 25% of data. This is the next 25% of data points, 25% of data points, and 25% of data points. So this is all 100% of my data points represented. So here we've got the ages of teachers at my school high. So our youngest teacher, what this is telling us, the youngest teacher is 22. And then the first 25% of teachers have ages between 22 and 31. The next 25% of teachers have ages between 31 and 44. The next 25% of teachers, 44 up to 53. 1, 2, yeah. And then the last set of teachers are from 53 to 64. Okay. So age of the youngest teacher, 22. Median age, the age that's in the middle, 44. 25% of teachers are older than X. So we want the top 25% of teachers. So 25% of teachers are older than 53. The interquartile range tells us how far apart the ages are in the middle 50%. So the middle 50% range from 53 to 31, and the interquartile range, that's the distance of this. So I actually have to do this subtraction, and that's 18 years. 18 years separate the middle 50% of ages. All right. True or false, the greatest number of teachers have ages between 31 and 44. Well, 31 to 44 is just 25% of teachers. So that's not the greatest number of teachers. That's just 25% of teachers. So that represents 25% of teachers. All right, so that's box and whisker plots.